What's one thing you've never told anyone, but will tell us? When my brother committed suicide, he had a Google Voice number. It took me a while to get into all his social accounts and email to help close them down. And I came across hundreds of voicemails left by our mom. She would call to hear his voice again, and to tell him how much she missed him. I kept logging into the account to keep it from being disabled. It took her 2 years to cope and stop calling. I've never told her, because it was the most personal conversations. 10 years later this year, it still breaks my heart to remember how much she cried in those messages. My mom is a strong person, and never lets things get to her. So hearing her voice crack and wail makes my soul scream in pain and despair. I slip money in my sisters' and best friends' purses or drawers at their houses. Neither of them will directly take money from me, so I hide it around their houses. I don't think either of them have figured out it's me. I had a neighbor who was an older lady and didn't have much extra money. She had a dog she couldn't afford to take to the vet regularly. The dog was everything to her. I would tell her I was going to take her dog to the dog park to play a couple of times a week. He was friends with my dog anyway, so it was no big deal. Once a year, one of those trips was taking the dog to the vet. I never told her or any of my neighbors because I didn't want to embarrass her. Before your cell phone kept track of birthdays, I used to remind my husband's friends and family about his birthday so he'd get a lot of birthday greetings. It totally made him happy that everyone remembered his birthday. I called DCFS on my best friend last week because she's in an abusive relationship and he abuses both her and her 2-year-old daughter. She's also dealing with that by abusing drugs and not taking care of her daughter. I've offered for her to come live with me and I've tried my best to get her into rehabs and she doesn't want the help. Her boyfriend doesn't know where I live and I have had a room set up for them for over a year. I love her more than anything and I love her daughter more than anything and I just want to see her in a better space. When my grandfather was about to die and he couldn't speak anymore, he waited for a moment alone with me and he asked me for pen and paper. Then he wrote, "There is a Rolex, 4 gold coins and $5,000 in my old wooden box." A really old box where he kept shoe polish wax and stuff like that. "Everything is yours now. I love you. We are 7 grandkids. But he always loved me more because I was his first granddaughter." I have the box under my bed with the note and everything inside as it was that day. I will never tell anyone. And I will never sell the Rolex or the gold coins. I only took the money and I put it in a savings account and they're there. Sometimes, when I'm sad and I miss him, I open the box and read the note again. He died like an hour after writing it. Heart. I tell my therapist everything. But other than her, nobody knows how fearful and nervous I am. People often comment on how calm I seem. I'm just good at not showing how brutally afraid I am. Pretty much all the time. It's sad. When my mom was on hospice, she wrote down a very short list. Casseroles. Pies. She wasn't always all there. So I asked her what it was. She said, "Things to make for when I die, my celebration of life." There are probably going to be a lot of people. I think she was trying to think of dishes we could have to feed a lot of people at once. My mom didn't have a funeral. She didn't have a celebration of life. No one would have come. My brother found the note after she died, and was laughing about it. He had no context. So he thought it was a note she wrote when she was less with it, and found it endearing. I let him think that, because the truth was heartbreaking. I've never told him, or anyone else. I was a fireman. I have a severe burn scar in my face. An ugly one. I got it for saving a woman from inside a fire. They called me hero, yet almost every time I look in a mirror I wish I did not do it. Edit. I wish to say thank you all kind people for your beautiful words. You made my day. I was molested by my grandpa from about age 59. I never told my parents or friends but did tell my therapist. I drunkly told my also drunk fiancé after about 2 weeks of dating, but he's never brought it back up. I don't think he remembers. I don't plan on telling him. As payback, my step-grandmother left me a diamond ring that just appraised for over $30,000 a year ago, among other jewelry that appraised for about $5,000. No one in the family understands why she left that to me, and I'm not saying a word. A couple years before my father died, he told me that he loved me more than my sister. My sister is one of the worst human beings I've had the displeasure of living with. But she doesn't need to know about this. I'm a crippling alcoholic and my health is nosediving. But I'm terrified of getting help for many reasons. The only option near me is a mental hospital where you can't even have strings in your gym shorts, let alone care for my other health issues. I'm terrified of coming clean to my friends and family and losing them because I won't fit in anymore. I almost killed myself back in '96 but didn't go through with it. The next year in '97 I randomly saved the life of a complete stranger. If I hadn't been here, neither would they. It still blows my mind to think about that. I've never told anyone about either event. They seemed too metaphysically personal, intense, private to talk to anyone about. I had sex with a guy once who stopped mid-rump to change the condom 7 times. 7 times. 7 new condoms. I was befuddled and neither of us came. I planned to end my life back in 2010, and the only thing that stopped me was my dog wanting to go for a walk. I really want to be hugged after a friend of mine hugged me randomly. No one hugged me now for years, I think. Almost committed by stepping off the ledge outside my 24th floor bedroom window when I was 15 after being sawed, then ditched by someone I trusted. I thought about my grandma. She practically raised me. I couldn't bear imagining her receiving those news. I'm 20 now and doing better. But man, I think about that night a lot. I've been making plans for years on how I can move away from all my family and never talk to them again. I had one particularly hard night where I had my gun in my mouth ready to pull the trigger. My cat staring up at me made me stop. Many people around me think I like being alone, but I really need some friends. I lost my friend group a year ago because everyone moved on and I still do not have any real friends. I want to make new friends or even find a date because I want to feel loved. I just don't have any confidence.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.